next speaker is Brad Willey, The Power of Body Language. The Power of Body Language. Brad Willey.
Thank you, Randy, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. So, as you notice, I came up here as impromptu. This week has been crazy for me. It's been stressful. I've been worried all week. How was I going to do a speech? I have one to do, but it just gets to me. You know, when you get prepared, like Natalia, sometimes it's hard to breathe. You get nervous. You're not quite sure. You don't know if you should be behind the lectern, what you should be doing. It gets really difficult sometimes. And you can just feel that anxiety and that stress. Body language can say a lot about what's going on. It can talk about the way you're feeling. Those nonverbal cues that you use can affect the way you put your hands, the way that you look at people. Maybe you can connect with them. Maybe you just look at the ground. You try to communicate a message with passion, but it doesn't come across that way. Sometimes you're awkward and you're looking at the ground. And they send messages that tell the audience that you're not quite ready. They tell your worker, your employer, that you're not into what you're doing. But if you come in with confidence and an ability to pierce through people, to talk with them, to have eye contact, your posture is good, your shoulders are back, you display an air of knowledge, truth, and integrity. You can communicate a message without even speaking a word. The power of body language says a lot about who you are. And it can really sometimes detract from who you are. And it can make it awkward. And people aren't sure if it's you or them. That it gets hot. And I can't quite breathe. And the message that you're trying to convey doesn't come across well. So how do you make sure that you're prepared? How do you use those nonverbal cues to connect with people, to really talk to them, to look at them and pierce through, to make that message impactful? You use your body language. You come across. You come close. You greet people. You get down to their level, and you speak to them. Right? When we work and we speak together, we interact with people. They know that we're trying to communicate with them. They understand that there's a purpose. There's more to the speech than just what we're saying. Because when you are confident and you have an ability to transcend just the language that you're using, you can use the body language that you have to communicate that message more effectively so that you can engage with the crowd even if you get a heckler. Eye contact is very important. Your posture, the way you stand, the way you put your hands, the way you hold your body, or you stand in attention. Have you ever seen a guy speaking who's speaking to a small crowd, but yet he is speaking as if there's 10,000 people in the room? And you know the message that he's trying to communicate is an important message, but he's not connecting with the crowd. Does that make you engaged in what the speaker is talking about? So how do we bring it down, back to the people that we're speaking to? Using gestures and posture and eye contact to really connect with the people, whether they're in the back of the room or right up front. Using your hand gestures is really connect, because we can speak to each other, right? And as we communicate, Sam, Anna, Murray, we can use these techniques to help draw people into the story and really get the emotion of what we're trying to drive and draw people to. And as we do that, we bring them along the journey. And as Randy has showed us today of the story structure, we can use our body language to tell a story that is much more and more effective. So I want to encourage each one of you, when you're working on your speeches, think about the body language that you're using. Think about how your nonverbal cues will tell a different story than the message that you're trying to drive home. So as you prepare for your next speech, keep body language in mind. Keep talking to people and communicating the message. And you've seen how, as I pointed to Randy, he came up. So thank you very much. We can use body language to do all sorts of amazing things. So thank you.
Thank you, Brad. We'll put 90 seconds on the clock for evaluation.